Hi everyone, welcome to the introduction class to cloud computing. And in this class, we will talk about what is cloud computing and we'll also talk about what is AWS and other cloud related services. So before we start, I will start with a quick introduction from everyone. And at the end, I will introduce myself and then we will be starting with the demo class. So let me quickly check. So can we start with Siva? Could you unmute yourself and just give your quick introduction?
Hi, Neeraj. Myself, Siva. I have around 16 years of IT experience. I started my career with AS400 developer, and then I started working on Java. And past 3 years, I have been working with Azure Data Engineer, and I would like to learn AWS as well. So I'm
Okay.
into
And
here.
what's your
Like
current
I work
location?
on Azure Databricks with the current location is Bangalore.
Bangalore. Okay. Good.
Yeah. For this course to join, like my main intention is I just want to compare with Azure and AWS, like what are the services, equivalent services, and to get going. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. That's good.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thanks, Siva. Soumya, can we have your introduction, please?
Yeah, hi Neeraj. Good morning. So I have 5 years of experience. I've started my career as a Java developer. Now, last 2 year onwards, I'm working with Java with big data, Java with Spark.
Mhm.
But I have not explored this AWS, so I just want to learn the AWS.
Okay. Yeah. Thanks, Soumya, for your introduction. We have one more candidate.
Yeah, thank
The name is displayed as M. So could you unmute yourself and have your introduction, please?
All right, my name is Muhammad. I have 20 years experience in Oracle applications, and I'm exploring AWS to explore like new opportunities in jobs or whatever. Yeah, mainly that's it.
Okay. And what's your current location, Mohammed?
Texas, USA.
Okay. Yeah. Thanks for your quick introduction. In the meantime,
Thank you.
one more candidate has joined. Saurabh, could you please unmute yourself and can we have your quick introduction? Saurabh, you are not audible. Maybe you can just type in the chat window and I will read it for you. Okay. So in the meantime, let me introduce myself. So my name is Neeraj and I'm into IT industry from last more than 16 years. And at the same time, I'm into online training from last more than 10 years. I started my career with Java. Later on, I moved to big data. And when I was working on big data, at the same time, I was providing training to the working professionals as well as freshers. And if I talk about my last around 5 to 6 years, starting from 2018, I'm working on AWS. And at the same time, I'm sharing my knowledge with the working professionals and the freshers so that they can also learn the emerging cloud technologies. So on AWS side, I'm a AWS certified professional solution architect. And in between, I got an opportunity to work on a Google Cloud project as well. There, I got myself certified as a professional cloud architect. So this is a quick introduction about me. I conduct online trainings in India morning time, that is US evening time, and in daytime, I'm a full-time working professional in one of the reputed company in Bangalore. Okay, so before we start with our demo class, I think someone else has joined. Let's have a quick introduction. So, Arnav, can we have your introduction, please? Just unmute yourself and just tell us something about you.
Yeah, hello, everyone. This is Anu. Yeah, I'm having 7 years of experience. So currently I'm working and at Rakuten, India, in Bangalore. So my I'm working as a cloud engineer, cloud DevOps. In my, um,
Okay.
so we are using our own cloud. My company has its own, besides other cloud like GCP, Azure. That's why I'm working.
Okay.
So I have to learn the AWS,
Yeah. Good to
the
know,
data
Arnav.
engineering part. Thank you.
Okay. Thanks, Arnav, for your quick introduction. Okay, so friends, I think we can get started with our introduction to cloud computing. So first of all, let's try to make this session as interactive as possible. It's not like a one-way communication. It's not like a teacher-students discussion. That means you can also contribute. You can also add something to it in case you know something which can be useful for everyone, right? So you can even share that. So at any point of time, if you feel to add something or if you need to ask something, please feel free to stop me and I will answer all of your questions. Okay, so let's start with the agenda for today's class.
You mean?
Yes, Saurabh, you are audible. Would you like to introduce
Yeah,
yourself?
yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah. Actually, I am not used to of the go to. That is why I am used to of the Zoom. So it was struggling. Yeah, yeah. Good
No
morning
worries.
and good evening, everyone. Yeah. So good morning and good evening, everyone. I am Saurabh. I am having around 9 years of experience with the application development. Some of like around 6 years as a mobile application of iOS, and now last 2.5 years around we are working on a Java as well. So this is my technical expertise. So I'm just looking why I'm looking for AWS because I think with the Java, couple of deployment, other things I have seen in my company, people are deploying through some of AWS in last, I think some in last section of the Jenkins I just saw. So that's why I'm just looking for the AWS training and hope as a course goes, maybe I can explore with the big data with the uh, as the course suggests like data with the AWS and other stuff. I don't know my how I move the path, but I'm just trying to learn AWS and other stuff in deeply with the sir. That's all overall understanding for me. Thank you.
Okay, thanks, Saurabh. So at the end of the demo class, I will show you the detailed course content as well, so that you have the full clarity, like what different topics we will be covering in our next 6 week training program.
Mhm.
Okay, so let's start with the demo. So the agenda for today's class is what is cloud computing, cloud service providers, cloud service model, benefits of cloud computing, limitation of cloud computing, and AWS trial account creation. Today is a demo class, that's why it's taking a little bit of time. Like we are introducing each other. At the same time, I am also showing you the slides. There's nothing practical, right? But tomorrow onwards, everything will be fully practical. That's why you can see that we will be creating a trial account, so that next class onwards we can directly log in into our AWS trial account, and I will do everything. I will demonstrate every concept practically on the trial account. I still have some PDF, still have some slides which I will be sharing with you for your reference, but I will not be going through slide by slide. Rather, I will do everything practically. And later on, after the class, you can refer to the slides or you can refer to the recording. And most important thing is, you should do it practically on your trial account. Then only you will be getting the confidence and the knowledge on the cloud. Okay, so let's start. What is cloud computing? So when we say cloud computing, right, if I talk about 10 years back or 15 years back, every developer used to work on his or her personal laptop or system, PC, right? There was no concept of cloud, but there were few challenges. If you are working on your PC or your laptop and somehow suddenly your system crashed, you may lose all of your development work. That's not a good idea, right? Moreover, every developer may not have very good hardware or very heavy configuration server, right? So there were few challenges, and in order to overcome that, there is a concept of cloud. That means cloud is nothing but a set of remote servers and physically located somewhere on the earth. It's very important. It can be a remote system for you. It can be, you can say, you are directly logging in from the comfort of your home, but definitely somewhere on the earth it is physically located, and access to servers and services are made available to you from the comfort of your system. You can log in into any server, any services, and you can leverage that, and you need to pay only for whatever you are using. So it's on demand self service. That means there is a, suppose you are going to a Walmart or you are going to big bazaar, and there are thousands of items there, right? You may not looking for everything, but whatever you are looking for, you will only pick those items, you will pay for it, and your work is done. Same thing is here. Cloud is providing you a lot of services. It's completely on demand self service. Whatever you are looking for, whatever you need for your project, you just pick that. And at the same time, auto scaling of hardware, it's very important thing. That means today I'm taking one server and my project is going fine, but tomorrow my load is increasing. So what should I do? Shall I discard this server and shall I request for a new server? That's not a good idea, right? Because suppose my website is getting more popularity day by day and my business is growing day by day, I cannot change my server every week, every month. I can't do that. So cloud is providing you flexibility that it can auto scale your capabilities. That means, suppose you are running a e-commerce website and you are planning for a big billion day sale, Independence Day sale, or anything like that, right? Only for that sale period, suppose there's a 5 days sale. Only for 5 days sale, I'm expecting that the traffic on my website will be multiple times, maybe 5 times or 10 times. Just for those 5 days, I cannot buy more hardware. Does not make any sense for me. Rather, I can request the cloud that can you increase the capacity of my website 5 times or 10 times just for these 5 days, and I'm okay to pay whatever amount is required for that. So they can do it. There is an auto scaling feature in the cloud, and cloud managed services. That means everything, whether it's a hardware, whether it's a physical security, whether it's a cyber security, or there can be anything else like maintenance, all these things will be taken care by cloud. And the last but not the least, pay as you go. Whatever you need, whatever you use, you need to pay only for that. Okay. So before we jump to the next slide, I always give one very simple and very I can say interesting example so that you can correlate with the cloud. So suppose we are a group of 5 friends and we are planning a trip to suppose Goa. So we can reach there by flight, by train, but after reaching there, we are planning to explore the city, we are planning to explore all the places. So we there are two possibility. Either we can buy a car over there, or we can rent the car. Which one is more convenient and which is making more sense? I think buying a new car in a new city just for 5 days of trip, it's not a good idea. Does not make any sense. Rather, you take the car on rent. You have the full flexibility. As per your budget, you can take any car on rent, and you just need to pay only for those 5 days. You don't actually need to pay for the entire amount of the car. That's not required. So the same thing we can do with the cloud. So instead of buying the new hardware, setting up a big project, suppose I need 50 servers. So buying those 50 servers for my new project, that's a time consuming process. That's a, you may need a separate hardware team, right? And moreover, after 1 month or after 6 months, if your project is over, what you will do with that hardware? Instead, you simply take the servers on rent, whether you need it for 1 hour, or you need it for 1 month, or you need it for 5 years. You can take on rent and you can pay as per your uses. That's the very, we can say, core concept of cloud computing. So before we jump to the next slide, I will take a pause here. In case you are having any type of doubt till now, you can ask me. Okay, so someone requested for recording of this class. So recording is in progress. At the end of the class, I will even share with everyone. Let's move to the next slide. Cloud service providers. I hope everyone is little bit aware that AWS, that is Amazon, Microsoft, and Google. These are major three players in the market. Apart from these three, there are few more, but those are not that much famous. These three are the main players. And out of these three, AWS is leading the market without any doubt. The reason being is AWS started its cloud operation long back, and Microsoft and Google jumped into this area little bit late. So at this point of time, if you are looking on any job opportunity, or if you're going for a cloud interview, or even if you're checking with your friends who are working on the cloud, there are more chances, 70 to 80% chances, that they are working on AWS projects. You can find few people who are working on Azure and Google Cloud as well, but majority is with AWS at this point of time. Okay, as far as our training program is concerned, which cloud we will be going with? So definitely we will be going with AWS. So AWS provides a free trial account. It's free of cost, and it's valid for 1 year. That means apart from attending this 6 week of training program, even after that, if you want to explore much, if you want to do more hands on, you can still leverage your trial account till next 1 year. Okay, so this is all about cloud service provider. And in the meantime, before we proceed, let me check. So any doubt from anyone? So maybe,
Yes, sir. I have doubt. Yeah,
yes, Saurabh, please go
I
ahead.
have a questions. I have question. Hello.
Yes, Saurabh, you are perfectly audible. Please go ahead.
Yeah, yeah. So my question is we have already other servers. Suppose GoDaddy and Hostinger, they are still giving server. Suppose if so why people choose for the AWS? Is it cost effective or what are other reason as well?
Okay. Yeah, that's very good question, but that's not a good comparison. You are comparing the website hosting services with cloud. So GoDaddy is
Yeah,
completely for
suppose
website.
yeah.
Yeah, GoDaddy or Big Rocks, right? Or any, there can be many more. These are
Mm-hmm.
only website hosting. But cloud is not only about website. There can be data analytics, right? Forget about website. You are having large amount of data, terabytes of data, and you would like to analyze that. So we don't need any website for it. We need a compute power. We need a server which can deal with large amount of data, and which can analyze and come up with a useful statistics. The ultimate purpose of data analytics is that your business, right, your top management, they would like to know, like, in which area I should invest more. Suppose it's a e-commerce website, right? So what type of offer we should bring on a big billion day sale so that people buy it more? What type of delivery option we can bring? What type of free delivery option we can bring? What type of some gifting options? Or there can be many more, right? Ultimate purpose is to
Mm-hmm.
enhance your business, to move your business in the right direction. So that is about server. Now cloud is not only about server. There are many more services. Once we will talk about our you can say detailed course content, you will come to know that apart from server, there are
Mm-hmm.
many services which will help you. Suppose storage service, you would like to store your data, and you would like to process your data, you would like to send some notification to millions of subscribers, and there can be many more stuff. So cloud is not only about server, it is about remote servers plus lot of services which will make your day to day work very easy.
Okay. But sir, same thing with the database, like other services also provided database and something like cron job or maybe AIML with the other stuff, like as you said, like business perspective, what
Yeah.
to serve. So same thing can be served with the other server or other thing as well. So that is why my confusion, ki why people are each and every companies are using AWS, or like which kind of people trying to use AWS over the server, and why like this kind of thinking I'm just have.
Okay, so if you are managing your server, first of all, you need a separate hardware team. Okay, if any
Uh-huh.
maintenance work on your server, again you have to look into that. There is any cyber attack, there is any physical security. And coming to auto scaling, suppose your website traffic is increasing in the midnight, how suddenly or how fast you can bring more servers and add it to the website? It's very difficult thing, right? I cannot wait till morning,
Mm-hmm.
because from midnight to morning, I will lose millions of money, right? So cloud is
Mhm.
providing a lot of stuff. So in the upcoming slide, when we will talk about benefits of cloud computing, you will understand why companies are running towards cloud.
Okay, okay. Yeah. Okay, sir. Yeah, proceed. Please proceed.
Okay, any other doubt from anyone else before we proceed? Okay, let's move to the next one. So the next is cloud service model. So what different type of level of services cloud is providing? And I was giving an example of that car renting in a Goa trip, right? I will I will extend that example again. That will help you to understand. So one way is we can rent the car. Now the next question is who will drive? Either one of our friend, we can drive, but would we like to drive in a new city, or would we like all together in a different party mode? In that case, we can ask the car rental company that could you please provide a driver as well. We can pay separately for that. Definitely, the more services you will opt for, you need to pay more. But the thing is, good thing is, at least you have the flexibility that along with the car you can ask for a driver, so they will provide that. Now on top of the driver, now you say that we are quite new to this city and we really don't know, can we hire some guide who can be with us throughout the day in our rented car, and who can help us to book the you can say adventures activity, and who has the full knowledge about this place, and he can make our trip more memorable and more convenient, right? So you can opt for that guide as well, and definitely they will charge further for the guide. So the thing is, you can opt from the services, and accordingly they will be charging. Now coming to the cloud, you can see at the bottom of the this diagram there is a IaaS, which is known as infrastructure as a service. As Saurabh was asking, like, what's the benefit? If I can do something on my server, then why I am going towards the cloud? The benefit is I can take infrastructure as a service, and I can pay only for the amount of time I used it. In this case, you are taking only infrastructure. That means only hardware. On top of hardware, whether you have to install operating system, it can be Mac, it can be Red Hat, it can be Windows. That's your responsibility. And after installing operating system, what next? You would like to install some tools. Your team will be working on that. Your developers will be developing the code. Even that tool you have to install. That's your duty. But if you say that why should I worry about installing Windows, and why should I worry about installing softwares and all? Can't cloud provide me that? Yes, they can, but they will be charging extra for it. So you can go with the second layer, platform as a service, PaaS. Platform as a service means cloud will provide you the hardware, definitely the hardware, the server. On top of that, the required software. They will make a platform ready for you where your team, where your developers can start working, and they can be productive from very first day. It's not like that a new developer is joining your team and then you will be giving a laptop to him or her, and then they will be configuring the laptop, which will take few days. It's not like that. As soon as a new developer is joining, you can provide them the access to the cloud, and from very first day they are productive, they are able to contribute to your project. And on top of that, software as a service, even development is complete, and the final product, right? The final product is ready for use. For example, I would say 10 years back, if I have to edit a photo, I used to install Adobe Photoshop on my laptop, and then I used to edit my photo. But in today's era, do you really need we need to install any software on our system to do such things? That's not required. You simply go to websites. There are a lot of websites available. There you can upload your photo. You do entire editing over there, and whatever is the final outcome, final product, download it back to your system. Similarly, if you want to convert Word file into PDF, or few images into a PDF, we don't need to install any software. There are many websites. So the point is, the end product, the end software is available as a service. You don't need to install it. You directly use it. If you are looking for a premium feature, you may need to pay something for this. But ultimately, even after paying, you will get access to that portal itself. Nothing is required on your system. You directly log in over there, do your entire work, and you're good. So the purpose of showing this slide is there are different level of services which you can opt for. If you say that you would like to pay only for infrastructure and remaining things your team can take care, you go with infrastructure only. Or if you say that no, I don't want that my developer are wasting their time to setting up the platform services and operating system and all, then you can go with platform as a service. And similarly, there are many software available which you can directly use on the website. So it's completely customized. That's why we call it as a self service. No one is coming to you and telling you, okay, you take this, you take that. You have the full access to all the AWS services, and you can opt whatever you are looking for. You can always analyze the cost associated with it, and then you can choose whether you want to go with this service or you don't want to go with this service. Okay, so let's take a pause here. Anyone would like to add something? Any doubts from anyone? Okay, in that case, we'll be moving to the next slide. And this is about benefits of cloud computing. This is the most important slide for the day, which is very, very important question. If everything is going fine in my current project with my own server, why do I need to move to the cloud? Just because people are moving, just because entire IT industry is moving, does not make sense for me to move to the cloud, right? I should know what benefits I will get, or if I'm facing some issue with my current scenario, are these issue will be taken care if I move to the cloud? So let's talk about the benefits. The first benefit is cost saving. No upfront cost for setting up the infrastructure. I was giving that example. For a new project, if you need 50 servers, would you like to buy that? You have to pay a lot of money in the beginning. And sometimes companies are getting small POC is like proof of concept. That's not a full project. Your client is asking you that can you do a small project, just like 1 month, and show me something, whatever concept you are talking about. Because as a consultancy, as a uh, software company, you are explaining to your client that we can do like this, we can do like that, and this can solve your problem, this can make your things easy. But client will say, can you show me something? Let's do a small project, 2 weeks or 4 weeks project. Let me understand whatever you're talking about is really feasible or not, right? Once it's feasible, once your client is impressed, once your client is okay, then the client will provide the actual project, which will go for months, which can go for years, right? So the point is, if your company is getting a small POC for 2 weeks or 4 weeks, there is no point of buying the hardware. Rather, cloud can help you. If you want a server only for 1 hour, they will provide, and they will charge you only for 1 hour. So that's one benefit. The next benefit is scalability and flexibility. You have the full control over it. And the scalability, right? The scalability is not even manual. For example, I was giving the example that in the midnight, my traffic is increasing on my e-commerce website, because suppose the working professionals are busy throughout the day, and in the night they are getting time and they are buying something. So I'm expecting more traffic on my e-commerce website in the night. But in the night, do I need to monitor that the traffic is increasing and shall I add more servers? No, that's not required. That is completely automated. You can set up some settings. You can set up some setting that if the CPU utilization on my current server is going beyond 80%, that means I need to increase the capacity of my server. It's very simple. That means even if you're sleeping, as a owner of the e-commerce website, you are sleeping in the midnight, but behind the scene, cloud is monitoring the CPU utilization, and they will understand that there is a lot of traffic on the website which is increasing the CPU utilization. And behind the scene, even without any manual interruption, they will be increasing the capacity of your website. And the reverse scenario, in the early morning around 4 a.m. or 6 a.m., people are like, you can say, they are not doing that much shopping, so your traffic is going down. In that case, do we need that heavy capacity? Do we need a lot of servers? Because unnecessary I have to pay, right? So the cloud is smart enough that whenever your traffic is decreasing, it will remove from few server from your website. That means scaling up and scaling down is completely automated. You don't need to do anything manually. Cloud will take care of it. So you can start with a small deployment. That means in the beginning, don't start with a lot of server. Why to pay unnecessarily more money? You start with a small server. You start your development work. As soon as your development work is done, you are productionizing your e-commerce website or any application. Slowly and gradually, as per your need, you can increase the capacity. That's the flexibility. That's the benefit we are getting with the cloud. If you do it with your own server, then it would be very, very difficult. Okay. Moving to the next benefit, reliability. You can completely trust on the cloud service provider for maintaining your data. And I will tell you, they maintain duplicate copies of the data. And why do we do that? Because, for example, there's a data server of AWS in Mumbai, and unfortunately, there is some flood, or there can natural calamity, some earthquake, or there can be anything else, right? Ultimately, your data center in Mumbai is not accessible. The server has been crashed, the building has been collapsed. Does it mean that I have lost my data? No, absolutely not. Because cloud maintains duplicate copy of data on a different geographical location. There is no point of maintaining the duplicate copy of data on the same location, right? It's like keeping a duplicate key of the home inside the home. So when you unfortunately lost your key, now you are saying that I have a duplicate key, but that's inside the home. And how do I get it? Right? So they will maintain duplicate copy of data altogether in different geographical location, maybe in Japan, maybe in US. So when your website is running and it will automatically find out that unfortunately Mumbai site is down, they will immediately redirect your traffic to US server. And for the end user, they are not even aware. It's completely like transparent to them. That means they will not even know whether the traffic is being served from a Mumbai server or from a Japan server or from US server. Ultimately, user is not concerned about all this thing. User is accessing a e-commerce website, and he or she should be able to place the order. That's all. So you can trust on that. They support disaster recovery as well. Unfortunately, if any server is down, any services are down, they will immediately redirect to an alternate location, and your services will be, you can say, restored in very less amount of time. The last but not the least is maintenance. I was giving some example that cloud security, cyber security, physical security, maintenance. Suppose your database server is, you can say, due for upgrade. Some newer version has come, so you don't need to worry about it. Cloud service provider will upgrade your server for you. It's their responsibility. As a user, as a developer, you can concentrate completely on your development work. Apart from that, your server is down, you have to upgrade the server, there's a security patch, that's not your concern. That will be completely taken care by cloud service provider. Okay. So friends, with this slide, we are done with benefits of cloud computing. If someone is interested to add something, or if you're having any type of doubt, please feel free to ask.
Sir, I have actually the same doubt because this kind of feature can't we have with the server like hosting provider for the web. I'm just saying because I can relate with the website only.
Okay, so you are thinking,
Maybe
you are thinking
yeah, sir.
only from a website point of view, but there are many
Yeah,
more
sir.
services. There are many more services available which is not available on the, you can say, your hosting website. For example, sending notification, or there's a concept of, you can say,
Also,
big data processing. There's a concept of Spark. There's a concept of code build and code pipeline. Suppose your entire code is maintained in a Git repository, and as soon as you will make any change in the Git repo, you would like to deploy that change. So deployment can be done on big rock server or GoDaddy server, that's fine, but who will deploy? Where is the pipeline running? All these services, cloud is not only about server, although today we are talking more about server only, but there are a lot of services which I will show you shortly. Those services will not be available with your hosting providers.
okay. And sir, is it safe like companies share data with like AWS or they want to keep their own dedicated server and everything? Is it like
Yeah, that's
I'm
very,
just
that's
thinking
very,
this.
very good question, and I appreciate you raised it. On the next slide, I will talk about limitation of cloud computing, and Then I will discuss about the point you raised.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. So let's move to the next slide. In this world, there is nothing which has only benefits. Everything comes with some limitation. And before you take the final decision to move to cloud, you should consider these limitations as well. So the very first limitation is completely dependent on internet. That's true. 10 years back, if your internet is not working for 2 hours, it's absolutely fine. Your team can still work. They may not be able to check the emails, but they can do the development work. But in today's era, when there is nothing on my local, everything is on the cloud. And unfortunately, if internet is not working, means your entire team is not productive. No one is doing any work. But that should not be a big limitation, because nowadays there are very good internet services available, and usually companies have multiple internet service providers for a high availability point of view. So that should not be a challenge, but you should be aware that if you are completely dependent on internet or completely working on cloud, then there is a dependency on the internet. So without internet, application will not be accessible and you won't be able to work on that. Moving to the next one, and as Saurabh raised a point, that are company comfortable to move their data to the cloud? It's very important thing. As a cloud service provider, as a Google or Microsoft or AWS, suppose I'm a Amazon representative, I can talk to any bank. I can talk to Bank of America, Citibank, or any other bank. I can talk to them that why you guys are maintaining your big server room. That's challenging for you. You can move your entire project, entire operations on the cloud. You know what banking will do? One banking will reply. They will say, no, we can't. We have very critical information. We have very sensitive details about the customer. If we put our data on the cloud, and unfortunately, there is some cyber attack on the cloud, and if my data is compromised, then we are answerable. We are answerable. We are accountable to our customers. My data is not like a very public data which I can simply move to the cloud and I can start working on that, right? So that's very important point Saurabh raised, that sometime usually banking clients, they are not that much comfortable moving their data to the cloud. Now there is a solution for it. Cloud service provider will say that whatever is your more sensitive, whatever is your customer level details, please keep it with you. Please keep it in your data centers. But there can be something else like data analytics, or there can be fraud analytics, or offer customization, where sensitive information is not involved. For example, you are having credit card history of millions of users. That history contains customer name, customer card number, and more importantly, what type of transaction they are doing, which type of area they are spending more, dining or adventure or traveling, or there can be something else, right? So whatever is sensitive information out of this, that can be removed. Whatever is a common information, like someone, I'm not telling the name, someone spent this amount in the dining on weekend, on weekdays, from this location, from this country, during this festival season, that detail, that information can help me to do some analytics. I can find out some trends that people during new year time, during Christmas time, during Diwali time are spending more on household stuff. During new year they are spending more on traveling, and there can be many more scenarios, right? So cloud is giving them the flexibility that you keep your sensitive data with you, but whatever is less sensitive, please move that to the cloud. Now the next challenge is how that, because now it's partially migrated, something is on the cloud and something is on the bank premises, how they will communicate. So cloud will provide a flexibility, exchange information between on premise and the cloud. This is known as hybrid cloud nowadays, because not every client is interested to migrate everything on the cloud. So cloud service provider has come up with a concept of hybrid cloud. That means few of the stuff, few of the services will be on your on premise under full your control, and the remaining things are on the cloud. And the good part is these services can interact with each other very easily. Cloud will help you to establish that connection. So this is the reason. And the last is monopoly of service provider. This can be challenging at times. I'm telling you from my live experience. In my project, there is a service which we are using from last 3 4 years, and you won't believe every 6 months they are increasing price. every 6 months, and they start sending email in advance that from 1st of June or from 1st of December or 1st of January, the price will increase from this amount to this amount per hour. Since there is no, you can say, competitor of that, that's very good tool, there is no doubt on that. They are like doing monopoly on that. So the point is, if you are dependent on anything, not only cloud, even in real time, real life, right? If you are fully dependent upon someone, they may take benefit of it. So you should be aware about this concept. Sometime you may be taking 5 services from AWS and 2 services from Google Cloud, because maybe those 2 services are quite cheaper in Google and quite costly in AWS. So you can do mix and match as well. I know few projects where few services are from Azure and few services are from AWS. So you have to think about those concepts as well. As a developer, you may not be involved much in the costing and all, but whenever you will go higher in the hierarchy, in the management part, someone from your company has looked into the cost as well, like what type of services you are opting for, what type of plans you are opting for. Because sometimes if you are going with hourly based billing, it can be more chargeable. At the same time, if you can reserve that instance, reserve that server for years, if you say that I will not pay for hourly basis, I need this server for next 5 years, that can be less chargeable. But you have to pay full amount in the beginning. You have to pay today for the next 5 years, but that can be less chargeable. On the other side, if you're not clear about your future projects and all, then you say, okay, no need to pay for 5 years, let's go hourly basis. If I'm running 5 hours a day, I will pay for 5 hours. Why for 24 hours? Okay. So friends, this is about cloud computing, I mean limitation of cloud computing. Any question on this? I hope, Saurabh, that clarifies your doubt.
Yes, sir. But as you said, like we'll move partial data. So how people uh, move partial data? Suppose where they keep rest of data. That is actually practically question coming.
No,
I don't
the
understand.
sensitive data will be on their own premise server. That is not under cloud. That's under their office building. If you go to any bank, they have a separate server room. So the sensitive detail
Yeah,
will
yeah.
be over there. But something which is less sensitive, that data will be moved to the cloud. How to move it, we will discuss in upcoming classes. And now your office server, which is in your office building, that will be communicate with the
Mm-hmm.
cloud server, because there can be some connectivity required. Suppose reporting is on the cloud, and other type of banking, other type of accounting, that is on your on-premise server. But ultimately, this server also need to fetch some data from cloud, and cloud server need to fetch some detail about from your office server. So a connectivity is definitely required between, because ultimately the bank is same,
So
and bank is saying that whether my services are on the cloud or it's in my office, they should be able to communicate with each other.
okay, but sir, if this is working like, suppose I'm just having a front end application. It's connecting with the my office server, and then office server try to connect with the AWS server.
Mhm.
Won't it make some kind of flow as a user experience to fetching data as and all?
It all depends upon the requirements. Networking team will be taking care of that. As a website developer, you are just interacting with your application server, which is available on your on server, I mean on premise only. But behind the scene,
Devices.
for few more stuff, suppose nowadays AI is there, machine learning is there, not for
Yeah.
your things but for something else, it may need to connect to the cloud. So the point is, connectivity is definitely required.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Okay, let's move to the next one. The next is creating a AWS trial account. So with this one, we are done with a technical introduction about cloud. I hope you got it little bit, some brief idea what cloud is all about. Today, I could not show you anything practical, but next class onwards, everything will be like fully practical on a trial account. Okay, how to create the trial account, that we will be talking about right now. So let me do one thing. Let me show you live. So I will open a altogether new window, and you simply type AWS trial account. Okay, and you see this one. Get a free trial account. Click on
So
that.
please tell this. Sorry to interrupt you, sir. Actually, can you please just tell if I'm having existing account as well, how the billing works and what can when how can we stop the server and how can see the billing amount and
Will do.
like this kind of thing as well.
I will
Yeah.
explain everything.
Okay.
I mean, we have a 6 week of training program. I will explain each and everything.
Okay, sir.
Yeah. Okay. So simply go to Google and search for AWS free tier, and you will find like this. And you can directly click on a free account, create a free account, or if you would like to know more about it, just come down. You will type different type of things. So it's a free trial. First of all, it's 12 months free. Okay. And what different services and what different quota. Free does not mean unlimited free. Free means there is some limit, but the limit is too good. I'm telling you, I'm taking all of my training batches using my trial account, and it's never going beyond the limit, and I don't need to pay anything for that. But you should be aware that whenever we say free, that means behind the scene there is a limit. That can be a bigger limit, you may not reach that, but that's not unlimited free. If everything is free, then companies don't need to pay, right? They can directly use a free account only. So that definitely there is a limit. So you see that there is a limit on 750 hours of EC2. It is EC2 is nothing but your server. So you can read this out. 750 hours per month. That's good actually. If you keep a server running, single server I'm talking about, if you keep one server running 24 by 7 in 30 days, it will become 720. That's still under limit, but that's not a good idea. If you don't want to keep your server running 24 by 7, stop it. Because if a server is stopped, AWS will not charge anything. Only when your server is up and running, AWS will be charging. As a best practice, as soon as we are done with our practice, done with our project, let's stop it. Okay. If you talk about storage, 5 GB of storage is free of cost available. And that should be good for our training purpose. But in real time scenario, in a project, 5 GB is nothing. You need to deal with terabytes of data. That would be chargeable. Similarly, if you talk about database, again 750 hours of time per month is allowed, and there are many more things: DynamoDB, SageMaker, Lambda function. As I was talking, that cloud is not only about server. There are a lot of things. So you can see here. So you can see the entire limit if you want to explore. Otherwise, simply click on create a free account. Okay. So you need to provide your email address. You need to provide a meaningful account name. Anything. Usually, suppose I'm working in a company, so we have different environments: development environment, testing environment, production environment. So we keep some meaningful name. Suppose my project name is Alpha. So alpha underscore dev. That can be one account just for identification. Because otherwise, how do I identify that this AWS account is for my development purpose? Every AWS account has a unique 12-digit number, but that remembering 12-digit number is difficult, right? Rather, I can give some meaningful name so that later on I can identify that this one is my development account, this one is my stage account or production account. So, provide some email address, provide some account name, and click on verify email address. It's very simple. It's hardly take 5-10 minutes. And after that, because you will receive an email, you check your email, verify the email. After that, you need to provide your credit card information as well. It's very important important step, and a mandatory step. Without providing your credit card information, you won't be able to create your trial account. But the good part is, you see the screenshot. They are saying that we will not charge for the usage below AWS free tier limits. We temporarily hold INR 2, only INR 2. And even those 2 rupees will be refunded back. You see that as a pending transaction for 3 to 5 days to verify your identity. So basically, they will charging you $2 if you are in US, and if you are in India, then 2 rupees. And even those small amount will be refunded back to your card. It's only for verification point of view. But since your card will be added to your trial account, that means it's your duty to keep your account safe and secure. At the same time, keep very close eye on the usage. If anything goes beyond the limit, or even if it's approaching the limit, you should be careful and don't keep the servers running 24 by 7. These are very important things. Okay. Since my account is already created, I already have a trial account. What I will do is I will log in into that, and I will show you something. So this is my account. Let's log in. So there are two ways to log in into your account. One is root user. Root user means full privilege, full permissions, and another one is IAM user. So for our developers, we create IAM user. For the owner of the account, we create a like root user. So you can see here the option sign in using root email address. So I will do that. Even you have to do that. Okay. So I will provide my email address. Just hold on. This one. Neeraj AWS June 2023. I created this account almost 10 months back and I'm still using it because it's valid for 1 year. Maybe this June I will create a new trial account. I will click on next. I need to enter the password. And one more thing, along with the password, you can see that it's asking for MFA code. So there is an additional layer of security. As I told you, since your card is associated, it's your duty to secure your account. Because if someone will get to know your username and password somehow, they can log in into your account and they can launch 100 servers. You won't believe 100 servers within few days will add a lot of amount to your credit card. So in order to make your account secure, along with username and password, one more layer of security is there. This is nothing but one uh, app which is installed on my phone, and I need to just enter some password from there. Just some code, 6 digit of OTP type of code, 338386. How to do this? You may be thinking how to enable it. I will explain in the next class. Okay. So I have already enabled for my account and I am logging in into my trial account. Okay. So you on the right side, you can see that it's displaying my name. You can see this. If you click on that, it is displaying a 12 digit of number. That's my unique account ID. And there are a few more details: account, organization, billing, and cost management. It's very important thing. So click on billing and cost management. And there is a option of cost alerts. I will show you. You come down and you will find something billing preference. Okay. So in the billing preference, you can specify the email address. You can see that AWS free tier limits. Basically, if you are approaching the limit, suppose they are providing 750 hours of free usage and you are approaching towards 700, so you are about to finish that limit, they will send you an email so that you can take some action on time. So this is a very important thing. As soon as you create your trial account, come to the billing part, come to the billing section, and add your email address over there so that they send you the free tier alerts. Okay. So this is about billing. And now talk about AWS services. We'll not go into detail, but just on a high level. So if you click on services, you will find that there are a lot of things. Under analytics, there are few services available. The very first is Athena, serverless interactive analytical service. Then there's the option of clean rooms, cloud search, data exchange, data fire hose, data pipeline, data zone, and much more stuff. Does it mean that we need to learn each and everything? No, absolutely not. AWS has more than 200 services. We can't learn that. And if someone will plan to learn those 200 services, by that time, AWS will release 50 more. So definitely, we cannot learn each and everything. We will learn only whatever we need. So if you go to next one, application integration, you will find few more services: App Interchange, Event Braze, Apache Airflow, MQ, Notification Service, Queue Service. Similarly, blockchain, business application, compute resources, containers. So now coming to the Saurabh's question, he was asking what difference between Big Rock or GoDaddy and cloud service provider. You can see the difference. GoDaddy can provide you only a website hosting server, but here they are providing hundreds of services for different type of data analytical service. There's a batch processing, there's an app runner, elastic beanstalk, lambda function is there. You can see this run code without thinking about server. Lambda is a very good service in AWS where you don't need to worry about server, how to start it, when to stop it. That's not your concern. You can only run your code serverless. What does it mean? We will be exploring in much more detail and we'll be doing practically in a altogether separate class. But to answer your question, cloud is not only about server. It is server plus lot of hundreds of services which you can choose from and which will make your day to day activity, which will make your development activity very very simple. Okay, so friends, with this slide, with this one, we are done with how to create a trial account, and I'm coming back to the slides. So in case you are having any doubts, you can ask me. Okay, so one more thing is pending. I have to show you the detailed course content. So give me a moment. So ours is 6 week of training program. I will show you quickly what different things we will be covering. So the course duration is 6 weeks, as you can see here. The classes for India people would be Monday to Friday India morning time. The same is Sunday to Thursday evening US time. So we are not taking your Friday and Saturday evening. You can enjoy your weekend. So classes will be Sunday to Thursday evening for US people. Okay. Coming to the course content, introduction to cloud computing. This part we have already done. So you can say that our 6 week training program has already been started. Introduction to cloud computing, introduction to AWS, creating a trial account, creating billing alerts, and brief introduction to AWS services. This part we have already covered today. In the next class that will be happening after the weekend, we will be talking about IAM, that is completely about users and access management. And it's very important thing. Without permission, without proper access, you cannot do anything on the cloud. You should have the required permission. So we'll talk about it, and not only talking, we'll do it practically on our trial account. After access management, we'll talk about storage services. You can see that. After that, we'll talk about compute service. Compute service is nothing but server. Then we'll talk about EC2 basics, EC2 advanced. Then VPC, that's nothing but networking part. How different services, how different servers are interacting with each other, how to protect your server from the outside world, and a lot of stuff. Lambda, as we talked about, Lambda is a serverless service, so we'll do that. After that, ELB, which is stand for load balancing. Different type of load balancers are there. We'll be doing that. Route 53 is one of the service. Then databases, we have different database services available with AWS. Crawlers, Catalog, Athena, Redshift, RDS, DynamoDB, and Elastic Cache, and much more. Then there will be few security services: CloudWatch, CloudTrail, Secret Manager, and KMS. Application services: SNS, SES, SQS, ACM. Everything has a full form. Simple notification service, email service, queue service, certificate manager. Then we'll talk about infrastructure management using cloud formation. After that, CI/CD, which is very red hot topic nowadays. So overview of CI/CD, introduction to Git, code commit, code build, code deploy, code pipeline, and everything we'll be doing practically. Then in the last week of the training, 6th week, we'll talk about how to set up a Cloud9 environment, write your first Python code, and a few more concepts about Python. Then PySpark basics and PySpark advanced. This will be our agenda for next 6 weeks training program. Anyone is having any doubt regarding timing,
Sir,
regarding course content, please ask.
yes, sir. So is PySpark and Hadoop, these are like with related with the AWS, or like there is separate thing? I have just seen in couple of job
Yeah,
description as well.
that's very
So
good question. So you are absolutely right.
yeah.
PySpark is not part of AWS. PySpark is basically a data
Mhm.
processing technology that can be used with big data, that can be used with cloud as well, but it's not AWS product. The point is, till this point, everything, not this, before Python basics, till this point, everything is part of AWS services. But I introduced
Uh-huh.
Python classes and PySpark classes on request. In my previous batches, someone
Mhm.
said that they should have basic idea about Python, because whether you work on
Yeah.
AWS or Azure or anywhere, Python will be required. And PySpark
Mhm.
is one of the data, you can say, large amount of data processing technology. So you should have some idea about PySpark, so that In case you
Mhm.
get an opportunity to work on a PySpark project, you are not completely blank. You can say, yes, I know a little bit. I have done something practically. So I can start on this PySpark project. And the more you work, the more idea you will get.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Any other question from anyone else?
Neeraj, what would be the timing, Indian timing,
Same timing, whatever timing
morning?
we conducted the demo today.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, same timing, and every day will be 1 hour of the class. And every day after the class, I will be sharing the PDF and recording so that you can do it practically on your trial account. I'm again emphasizing on this, that when you are attending the class, when I am doing something, it looks very simple, it looks very easy, but you should do it practically on your trial account. Then only you will gain the confidence and you will get deeper knowledge about the cloud services.
Sir, is there any doubt session if he is stuck somewhere or anything like that?
Every session is a doubt session. You can stop me at any point of time. Usually what we do is, once the class is over, if anyone is facing an issue,
Mhm.
please stay. He can even share his screen, and we look into that.
Okay. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
the people who are not having any
Okay.
doubt, if they want to stay, just to check, just to know, most welcome. If they want to drop, they can do that.
Okay.
Any simple theoretical doubt you can ask during the class. If you want me to look into your issue which you're facing on your system, in that case, we usually do after the class, so that we are not wasting everyone's time. Any other question from anyone? Okay, so friends, I will be creating a new meeting link, because this meeting link was only valid for a demo class. For regular classes, I will be creating a new link, and I will be sharing with all of you over the weekend. And let's meet on Monday morning, same time, Monday morning India time. For US folks, it would be Sunday evening. Okay, so thanks all for joining. Thanks for making the session interactive. I hope you understood a little bit about cloud computing. And in next 6 week, we will learn a lot of things about cloud computing. So looking forward for this interactive training. So that's all. Happy learning. Thank you.